So I've talked about this a couple times on my channel about how I feel like listening to music, especially like the wrong kind of music, is a big problem for a lot of people because it's really not good for you. But I was making my video on like getting higher quality friends on self improvement, how I can't really feel like I relate to anyone anymore. And I realized that it is a huge problem that I actually really think I need to talk about because I think it messes up a lot of guys on self improvement who are just, like, I don't know how to describe it, but it messes them up because this music kind of like rots your brain and makes it so, you know, you don't really, it's just, well, the first big problem with music is it's really like needless dopamine, especially these like huge like rap songs with all the crazy beats and the guys singing on top of them and the sounds added in and everything like that. That is just like needless dopamine, and we really don't need needless dopamine. That's what we're trying to avoid with this whole self improvement thing. We're trying to stay away from those things that are really high dopamine that just aren't good for us. But that's just almost the non problem with music. Like, that's a problem, sure, but it's like if you had a mountain, this needless like dopamine would be kind of like this little hill next to the mountain because it's not a huge problem. The huge problem is it like whoa, what did I just say there? Anyways, the huge problem with the music is this like degenerate kind of music that everybody listens to nowadays that almost nobody realizes is so bad for them. I know I kind of sound like a mom right now, like, oh my goodness, this new music is so bad for you. But I mean, I said this in my phone video too. She might be right with this one because this new music is terrible for you. It sucks on your mind, and trust me, it's gonna hurt you if you don't realize it. So, the huge problem with it is one, a lot of these songs are really like porn. Like, that's just the best way to describe them. There was this guy walking in the halls who had his like he had his Chromebook open. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's essentially like a computer from Google that every kid in our high school has to like work on and stuff. But he has his Chromebook open and he's playing music on of it, and it's a song about like this big black dude having sex with all these different white girls with the blonde hair and everything. It's like, well, these guys, he's walking in the hallway, bopping along, and I mean, that's just basically porn. At that point, you're instead of looking at a big black dude fuck a white girl, you're listening to a big black dude fuck a white girl. It's the same idea. It's just maybe a little dumbed down, maybe a little better than porn, but still, it's essentially just porn, which we already know how bad porn is for us and how that stimulation rots our brain, fucks up our sexuality, and everything like that. So I would really try and stay off of it just for that reason. But it gets worse because music it actually like can influence us. Not now if you hear it once and it's something extreme like shooting someone, obviously you're not going to go buy a gun and shoot someone. But studies have shown that people have who have listened to like a song that is like, I slapped that bitch, I slapped that bitch, I slapped that bitch, get like repeatedly over years or months, like 100 times a month or something, actually have shown like higher aggression rates towards female their girlfriends or wives during a relationship, and have shown that they're like more likely to hit their wives and everything like that. And one, that is just awful, but two, this is what I found. My brother has gotten more into like this rap scene with all the rappers talking about drugs and shooting up people and slapping people, slapping their girlfriend, beating up their girlfriends, having sex with their girlfriends, and that is something where like drugs are so readily available in our school. Like they have to close off bathrooms because people have been smoking in them. They close off the third floor bathrooms during lunch. They close off some of the bathrooms just entirely because people keep smoking in them. And when you are listening to songs about, oh, these drugs make me feel so good, like stuff like that, you're going to be more likely to want to take drugs because you see them in a positive light that, they make you feel so good. And that is not okay because he understands that drugs are bad. But I feel like, why would you listen to songs saying, oh, drugs are so good, I kill people, everything like that? Like, we live in a very safe place, but drugs are readily available. And I don't want anybody to end up going into drug use because of songs they heard. I know it's not like that, but you'll become more likely to try drugs when you've heard a bunch of songs talking about how good drugs feel. You know what I'm saying? So, another huge problem with that is that, and the thing is that it's not like listening to it one time. Like if I listen to an Eminem song once, who cares? It's one time. But if you listen to the same song about how drugs are so good and I shoot people up and I hit my girlfriend, and then you listen to it again and again and again and again, it starts to seep into your mind. That's almost the thing they do with us in like as parents or as teachers. If they really want us to learn something, they'll tell us it again and again, day after day, week after week, that this is what we need to do to almost just like break it into our minds, and like grabbing a nail and grabbing a hammer and just smashing it into our minds that this is good or this is bad. That's the same thing with music. Like if you grab a hammer and you hit it on the nail once, nothing's going to happen. But maybe each time you listen to it, you hit it on the nail. And every day you're listening to the song, it's getting deeper and deeper into your mind as you hammer it in there. And then those ideas and those songs become your ideas. And I know I sound crazy right now, but just trust me on this, all right? Because I've seen my brother try and get like tougher and trying to fight, or like, I don't know how to describe it. Not exactly fight people, but intimidate people. That's the word. Intimidate people more often because he thinks he's like this, like the guy. He thinks he's him, and he thinks he can take anybody, he can fight anybody he wants, and one day he's gonna get up to like some 6'5" black guy who's been in countless fights, who has ripped muscles. You're gonna try and intimidate him. He's gonna get his head pounded in because he might like go to karate. He might do all this stuff with his hands, but in the end of the day, he's like what 5'7", a buck 20. He's not very big at all, and he's gonna get in trouble if he keeps going like this. So really trust me when I say music is bad for you. Now, not all music is bad for you. Obviously, I've started listening more to like classical music and string music, especially because, I play the cello. So I really like the sound that a cello makes, which is why I play the cello. I know, no duh, but I've started listening to more strings music, orchestra music, things like that, because one, I find that it really, helps me calm down when I might be doing something. Like I know when I'm mowing the lawn, sometimes I'll put in this music because it just helps me relax, and singing to the music while I'm doing something very monotonous of walking back and forth for an hour or two. So one, it helps me do that, and two, there's no lyrics. It's not bad for you, I'd say, because like the music can be very inspiring. It can be very sad. It can be somber. It can be any mood you want it to be because it's classical music, and you can play an instrument however you want to play an instrument. The only music that is made is by what you interpret. So classical music, or I know there have been a lot of self-improvement YouTubers who have done like tribal music with the drums and the ooh ah, stuff like that. That was weird. Anyways, so all that is very good for you, but just please trust me and stay away from that like rap music with all the curse words, with the the sex implications, the drug implications, the murder implications, and everything like that. Because especially since things have become so much easier to do, trying one of these bad habits that you hear in a song might be so much easier than you think. So stay disciplined, do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.